a special edition of ABC's This Week. Game Changers.
Well, Iowa, we did it! We did it!
The twists and surprises.
Tim Howard is there.
The people who made their mark in 2014. We're inside the fight against Ebola. How these heroes beat the odds. The new high-stakes drama. Has Vladimir Putin reignited the Cold War? After a tough year for the NFL, has soccer now become America's game? And the powerful, emotional story behind the year's biggest viral video. 1 hour of new, exclusive interviews and insights. The Game Changers of 2014. From ABC News, a special edition of This Week with George Stephanopoulos begins now.
Good morning and welcome to our special holiday edition of This Week, a week we mark each year with our special Game Changers edition. But there is a big developing story right now. We want to get right to it.
George, thank you and good morning. I'm Dan Harris in New York, and we are tracking breaking news right now. Just 9 months after Malaysia Air Flight 370 disappeared, another passenger plane from an airline based in Malaysia has vanished in that same part of the world. Air Asia Flight 8501 was in the middle of what was supposed to be a short 2-hour flight from the Indonesian city of Surabaya to Singapore when it disappeared, vanished from radar. More than 160 people were on board, including many children. ABC's David Curley is tracking all of this for us this morning. David, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dan. It will be an agonizing night for families. It is now dark over the Java Sea, where a handful of aircraft looked for this missing jetliner.
This is the actual Air Asia A320 that is missing at this hour. Indonesian and Singaporean aircraft, about a half dozen, spent the afternoon looking for any sign of the jetliner, which was carrying 161 people, mostly Indonesians. Flight 8501 took off from Indonesia early Saturday morning, headed northwest for Singapore. 42 minutes into the flight, the jet runs into severe weather. Thunderstorms and turbulence. The pilot asked to turn and to increase altitude significantly from 32,000 feet to 38,000 feet. The jet then just disappears off radar. Call centers and family areas set up for those wondering about the passengers, which included 16 children and 1 infant with a crew of 6. The A320 was just 8 years old and had no serious maintenance issues. Air Asia is a low-cost startup airline and has a good safety record. But the mystery is what happened to this aircraft and where it is this morning.
The search has been called off now that it is dark over the Java Sea. President Obama has been advised about the situation. Another mystery surrounding a South Asian aircraft, Dan.
Another mystery. David, thank you. So let's bring in now our aviation expert, Colonel Steve Ganyard, who's a former Marine Corps fighter pilot. Steve, I know for many of us, when we're on planes and we're in that moment when we hit turbulence, we all try to remember, at least I do, that planes are built to withstand bad weather. So given that, what could have possibly gone wrong here?
Lots of things could have gone wrong, Dan. I think we're sort of grasping at straws. We look at it and why should a perfectly good airplane or seemingly perfectly good airplane drop out of the sky at 32,000 feet? And I think the first thing we look at is weather, and we see that there was quite a bit of weather in the area, big thunderstorms. They were moving their way around to try and avoid some of those thunderstorms, but we shouldn't probably get too pulled off on this idea that it was just weather. There may be some other factors here that we're going to really need to find as the investigation goes on.
The question on everybody's mind this morning is, how is this happening again? In this age of high tech, how have 2 planes simply disappeared from radar?
It's really discouraging. You know, if you remember, you think back in March when we lost the Malaysian aircraft off the coast of Australia, or we think it's off the coast of Australia, and we said never again should we lose an airplane. And here we are almost 24 hours into another missing aircraft. In this day and age, there's enough technology that we should never again lose an airplane. We should know right where it is right now, and we ought to have ships and rescue aircraft out there right now.
Now, but just to be clear, every time a plane crashes, it does go off radar, but you're saying there should be more of an indication here than there is.
Right. The fact that after a full day we weren't able to find wreckage or find any indication of this aircraft is just, it just says we have to improve the way we track airplanes, and we shouldn't be able to lose them. Now, once we can find the area, you look at the Java Sea where this is, it's a vast area, big ocean. There's not a lot out there, so getting search and rescue folks out there to look for that airplane it's going to be tough. That said, it's a very shallow sea, so it's not like where we're looking off the coast of Australia that's very deep water. So if we can get to a proximate area, I think we'll have a very good chance of finding and recovering this aircraft, finding that black box that will tell us what truly happened to this aircraft.
So perhaps this won't be as an enduring a mystery as MH370 continues to be. But just one last quick question here. David mentioned that this is an airline, AirAsia, with a good safety track record. What more do we know about this airline?
It is. It's a startup. It's been around almost a decade. It flies the A320, which is a terrific airplane. No red flags popping up about this airline. No safety problems that you would say, oh well, that's to be expected. In this case, very good airline, very good airplane that's designed to fly around weather like this. Well-trained pilots. So it seems like this is a total mystery at this point, Dan.
We keep saying it. It is a mystery. Steve, thank you. And a reminder, we're tracking the story all day long at abcnews.com.